March is Women's History Month, and we are sharing the stories of successful and inspiring local women like Elle. She's a New York Times best-selling author of children's and young adult fiction. But along the way, she had to ignore the doubters. I sat down with her to talk about lessons learned on the road to success. In 3 short years, Houston author Elle has gone from first-time novelist to delivering one bestseller after another.
It's shocking what happens and how sort of life just opens up to you when you step out on a limb and try something that's new and different. I really am just following my inspiration.
Her first inspiration produced Wings of Ebony, the story of a teenager with magic powers, growing up in a community much like where Jay grew up, in 3rd Ward. She has now written a total of 9 books. Going on nationwide book tours, making it all look easy. On the contrary, you said, quote, after months of plotting, preparing, and breaking my brain, the House of Marion book, which is a trilogy,
yes,
is done. Breaking my brain?
Yes.
Is it that painful
That's
a process?
what oh my goodness, like you would not even understand. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle with, 10,000 pieces, but you've never seen the box.
But the ideas and words keep flowing. She typically writes 4 to 5 hours a day while her children are at school. House of Marion, what Jay calls fluffy romance fantasy, is part of a trilogy and another bestseller. But along the way, lessons learned.
Trust your instincts creatively, trust your eye. Don't be above reproach, be teachable, obviously, but expect that you're going to find people who don't understand or see your vision.
In fact, dozens of book agents did not see her vision for that first novel.
That book was rejected by over 60 book agents. They just didn't see the potential.
All she needed was one agent. Wings of Ebony later got the attention of folks at Disney, who asked her to write a book in conjunction with a movie you may have heard of.
Ariel! Hey kid, how you doing?
The Little Mermaid.
And so the editor read Wings of Ebony, and she loved the sister relationship there. And so they reached out and said, can you write a sister story for The Little Mermaid? And I was like, okay, which sister? And they were like, all 7 of them in one book. And so I was like, okay, and yes, and here we are.
And here it is, The Little Mermaid against the tide.
Ariel rolled in her clamshell bed with buckling anticipation.
It spent 11 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. All of her books have one thing in common: fantasy.
It's because there's power in make-believe, Len. Like, if you can get someone to believe in something that's impossible, they can believe anything. They can believe beyond their circumstances. They can believe beyond what they see with their eyes every day. They can hope. I think fantasy is a breeding ground for hope. I love Elle. First interviewed her 3 years ago. Lesson in resiliency. Now, here's a backstory. She was a journalism major at UT, graduated, became a teacher for a while, but writing was her passion. So she leaned into that, and in spite of early rejections, she kept going. That's a lesson, our girls want to know, my girl wants to know. That is the lesson.
Yeah. Persistence, and she did not. She bet on herself.
She
really did.
bet on herself.
It's hard. It's harder to do than when people, people talk about. It's harder to do, but she did.
You are right.
Yeah.
You're right, Mom.
She imagined one day she would write that.
Yeah.
And she did.
Very cool.
Hey.